We don't know what we will do, Tiaw. Ah, there you go. He's here. Oh, there you
Okay,
go.
it worked this time. All right, let me get this tripod set up here.
You can turn off your camera. You want to turn it off?
Hang on a minute.
You hear me? Alex, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, your voice here,
Can
I can't hear you because I don't know why.
can you see me?
Yeah, but your phone, you need to do like that. What's that?
Were you able to see me?
You can hear us, Tihaw? Yeah, we can hear you. We can see you, but your camera, you need to put it
Hang on a minute.
don't put it landscape like that.
Can you see me like this or no?
You need to put like that, your camera. Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are we on now?
Yeah. But I can't hear you clear here. I don't know. Turn your camera. Yeah, that's good now.
Let me see if I can get my headphones to see if you can get it. Hang on a second.
Hi, Tiaw. You can hear Alex good or only me? I can't hear good. I don't know. The sound here is very low. I can hear him. But me, you can't hear me? The sound is very low.
Okay, let's see if you can hear me better.
I can I can't hear you clear here. I don't know why.
How about now? Can you hear me better?
Ah, my sound. Yeah, the problem is me because I don't have headset here. I can't hear you,
Okay.
but the viewers can hear you.
The viewers can hear me?
The problem is me here. I don't know why. My sound is
Well,
not good.
I'm going to be doing most of the talking anyway. Just introduce me when you're ready. It looks like how many people we have on here? Anybody on here yet?
When you
Yeah,
had
for some
the
reason your
boom,
sound is
lost
definitely far away.
I could hear you better. When you had the boom. Ah, I need you need to. But I'm eating.
Okay. So what do we need to do here?
Yeah, we will wait the viewers. You said you will turn off your cam. You open it.
I don't know how to do this stuff.
Wait, I will send to IB.
I guess hold the phone close to you or something.
Start talking the view cam and go. Wait.
Okay, so now what?
Ay, manood ka ng live. Andyan si Alex. Magsalita daw siya. Yeah, you can start talking now, Alex. Special guest for you just in this channel. Like and subscribe to my channel, guys. His name is Alex. He has a wide range of knowledge. Let's just go ahead and introduce Alex to you. Let's welcome
Okay.
Alex, the Rainmaker.
Okay. So I guess, can you hear me okay now?
I can't. The problem is me, but the viewers can hear you.
They can hear me. So we only have what, three viewers here? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, we have five, looks like, total. Okay, okay. Now I'll start talking. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
um, my name is Alex. I I come to you in a very different way because I have a wide range of knowledge that I believe every single one of you can benefit from if you stay here long enough. Because I never make a YouTube appearance. I've been asked for years to YouTube well over 10 years ago because I had a special knowledge in health. I do a lot of holistic stuff, and I don't believe in drugs. I don't believe in pills. Those are the lazy man's way of what they think that's going to make them better. But it really doesn't. It temporarily gives them that feeling of that they're better, but it doesn't solve the problem. Okay. So let me just tell you a little bit about
Yes, here.
myself. Okay. So since 2001, I have been reading a lot of self development books. Okay. I have well over 4,000 books in my library in audio format. I have what's called a rolling university. So for over 20 years, I've been driving around in my car with different audio type of format uh, programs to listen to. It's like my rolling education university. Okay. So my background is basically this. I've been a licensed, like in the state of Florida, what they call a 215. That gives you a license to do life insurance, health insurance, all those things. So I'm pretty much a licensed person in that area since 2009. Okay. That's just one aspect of it. I have been a top salesperson in the insurance field for 5 years in a row. I've been number one or number two for a huge company. There's two of them. One's called MetLife and then one's called Mutual of Omaha. For those people that are watching this that live in America or United States of America, those are large insurance companies. I used to be a top salesperson in that arena. Okay. Now, moving on to real estate field, I was also into real estate investments since roughly 2003, somewhere around that period. And I also started my own company doing that, where I was flipping houses, that kind of thing. But that's not what we're talking about. I'm just telling you about my background. And then I also have property management background, where I've had upwards to 225 tenants or people that live in my apartment complex that I used to be a property management for. That's just some of the things. Okay. And then last of all, I have about 6,000 hours, give or take, in health and nutrition background. Okay. So I have studied some of the best doctors in the world, not in the area of standard medicine, but in the area of holistic medicine. These are world renowned people from Harvard, from Yale, from Cornell University, and I have a certification in plant based nutrition. So there's a lot of things that I have studied from the best doctors in the world, not through surgery or medication or anything like that. Those are necessary for immediate emergency care, but not long term care. Okay, if that makes sense to you. Okay, because in America and all around the world, most people, when they're sick, what's the standard thing that they do? They either go to the hospital or they go see their doctor. And what does the doctor do? They might spend 15 minutes, 20 minutes with them or so after waiting an hour in a waiting room, right? And what do? Oh, they look at you real quick and then they give you a couple of minutes here, take this pill. And then they give you the instructions, how many times to take the pill, the prescription, you pick it up. and then supposedly you're supposed to get better, right? Well, that's a temporary fix, okay? It is not a long term fix because you got sick not because you didn't have any pills. It is because your body broke down and you weren't taking care of it properly, okay? When you get to the root cause of the problem, okay, that's when you can start addressing the problem, not through drugs or medication, okay? You know, my philosophy through health is that there is an ancient Greek doctor. He is called the father of medicine. His name is Hippocrates. He he was a Greek man, lived in the Hellenistic period during the Greek Empire, and he was a well-known leader of all the doctors, father of medicine at that time. And today, when a medical doctor finishes his residency, they have to take something called the Hippocratic Oath. Okay? Sometimes when you go into the doctor's office, you will actually see the plaque that says the Hippocratic Oath. And you know what that Hippocratic Oath basically says? It says that do no harm to your patients. Okay? Do no harm to your patients. But then again, what are they really accomplishing by giving you medications and prescriptions and so on? Do you know that every single medication has side effects in them, even though it's been approved by the FDA? Don't even get me started on what the FDA does. But anyway, the FDA approves these drugs through trial and error and all this stuff, even though there's side effects on them, whether it's vomiting, dizziness, nausea, diarrhea, whatever it is, right? But there's always side effects through medication. Okay. But real medicine is through nutrition and through herbs is the methods that you want to address. Okay. Because that will get to the root cause once you know what to do. Anyway, Hippocrates said this well over 3,000 years ago. He said, let your food be your medicine. Okay. Let your food be your medicine. How many people actually know how to eat the right foods so that you get the proper medicine and the nutrition that your body is starving for? Okay. As an example, for an example, let's say you're in Arizona or California or Texas or Florida, right? Those are all very hot, sunny states. Do you know that when you go out in the sun, you have something called the melatonin and you get natural vitamin D through 20, 30 minutes of the sun without baking and burning your skin? Okay. And melatonin helps relax the body so that when you have enough melatonin over time and you build enough reserves of melatonin, it helps you sleep naturally easier. If you work with something called the circadian rhythm in your body and you naturally go to sleep. Okay. So those are just natural things that are not drugs related, that you're taking advantage of the sun. It's going to give you melatonin and also vitamin D. Okay. Does this make sense to you? Those are true facts. If you don't doubt me, Google it, what melatonin does to the body. Okay. Google the sun to see if it actually gives you vitamin D. It does. It also helps to take supplements like vitamin D3 because so many people, despite the fact that they live in Texas or California or New Mexico, any of those southern states that have high sun over the country, right? Yet most of the people are deficient in vitamin D because they don't get enough sun exposure. Because most people are inside, they don't spend enough time outside, and so they're not getting their vitamin D. Okay, and guess what? You also need strong bones, which also means calcium mixed with vitamin D. And here's the thing: we have been taught from our childhood, from the time we grew up, in
Wala
commercials,
siya mga ilang araw
milk
nung
does the body good.
masaya ka ba sa
But what if I told you that
narcissistic
milk
commitment?
causes your bones
Hindi,
to
parang
weaken
tapos sabi ko tama to.
and it actually creates holes in your bone because it's loaded with white sugar? along with hormones and all kinds of different um, uh, things that comes from the pesticide that the cows eat through the foods that they give them. Okay, guess where you're going to get the most calcium? You can get it. You know what? You can get it through almond milk. That's natural. Okay, it has twice the calcium as milk does. That people don't know about this, or they say, "Oh, I don't want to drink almond milk or something called oat milk." Okay, but those are better for you rather than milk because we've been told so many years about milk does the body good. But I'm telling you, through my study of some of the best doctors in Cornell with Yale background and all kinds of stuff, I've been taught by 25 doctors. These are the things I'm telling you. Ordinarily, when people consult me, guess what? My last client, I charge $250 an hour. Guess what? You're getting this information from me free right now because you're part of Dolly's channel. And depending on what Dolly and I can work out later, right? She doesn't pay me for anything. Like I'm just doing this as voluntary to assist her. Okay, I'm just helping her channel grow. So subscribe and like her channel because guess what? This is not going to be free much longer because when she's monetized, in order for you to get to me, you're going to have to join memberships. Okay, and guess what? Can you imagine if you actually reverse a disease because of the things that I say and the instructions that I give you? Okay, then whatever her membership level is nothing. It's almost practically free compared to what you would pay a doctor for many, many years to not reverse a disease. What am I talking about? We're talking about things like lupus. We're talking about diabetes. We're talking about heart disease. We're talking about dementia, all kinds of different diseases. Okay. And I will never ever tell you to take a pill or a prescription. It's just not in my DNA to do that to you. Okay. I leave that to the regular doctors. And by the way, I'm not a doctor. I thought I was going to study to become a medical doctor. But after I see what the things they teach them and their curriculum, that's not the kind of knowledge I wanted for myself because they don't reverse diseases. They only provide something called emergency care, not health care. Healthcare is a completely different animal. That means healthcare is you're actually making the disease go away, not keeping taking drugs and pills after pills 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now, which is not doing you any good. Okay. And those things get expensive too. You have to have special insurance for that stuff, or unless you want to pay out of pocket. And the cost just is astronomical over time. Okay. So I don't know how much time we have here. I've been on here for looks like 18 minutes. Dolly, how are we doing for time? Hello? I guess I'll keep talking until she tells me to stop. Okay. So those are some of the things that you can learn. Okay. And another thing, I also have a background. I'm also certified in something called life coaching. So if you're having problems in a specific area of your life and you're looking for a different perspective from somebody who actually has the education and training from all the different things that the school that I went to and also books that I've learned over time, plus my own personal experience, those are the things I can help a little bit on and touch on a little bit here. I'm also a health coach. I'm certified in that area as well too. Okay. So that's giving a little bit about what I do and some of the background that I have. And so maybe you will find that helpful down the road. Dolly, did you have something to say? Or-
I don't know. The
I
signal
can't hear
is
you.
weak. I don't know.
No, no, I'm just asking, how are you doing for time? I've been on here for 19 minutes. I can keep
I
on
cannot
talking if
hear
you
you.
want, or,
Why your sound here is very late for me? Wait, what did you say?
okay. And also, if you want, Just tell me what the question is, and if I can't see it, we can open this up to a Q&A. Let let the audience ask me questions about the things that they want to know about, and see if I can answer it for them.
Okay, we will ask the viewers, okay?
Yeah, go ahead and ask them, and then ask me, and then I'll answer the question the best that I know how. Okay. And if you don't get it answered this session, we will answer it in another session if we have to. But more than likely, I'll probably answer it. You get anybody to ask you any question?
Wait, wait.
Okay. At the meantime, for the benefit, so that the viewers, when you come to Dolly's channel, for this week, she's still working on something called watch hours. Okay, so she's not able to spend a whole lot of time with you like she's doing right now. Okay, and she has me to interview and so on. As when we're done with something called watch hours, we will focus on content where we can stay on camera like this and address your concerns, okay, and answer questions. And also, we can teach using this platform of YouTube and start doing the teaching process. I have not taught anywhere other than the circles that I have. I've spoken to 300 people in the room before, but I have not chosen to go public or anything like that. But that's down the road. Maybe that's going to be different, but we'll see. Do I have any questions yet?
They are thinking what to ask.
Okay, okay. How about you, Dolly? Do you have a question? They'll get a sample of how I answer your question.
Tihao said, what are you trying to sell here?
What am I trying to sell? Is that what he said? I'm not selling anything because you can't afford me.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the reality. I'm not trying. I'm not interested in taking clients. I'm early retired right now. I'm only assisting in this channel. That's it. I don't want your money. Now, what you can do is help Dolly, okay, by subscribing, and later on when she's done monetizing, you can subscribe to her channel and become a member of her channel. So that's the only real sell. That's it. It has nothing to do with me at all. I want nothing from you other than to help right now. Mostly it's help Dolly because I'm providing this service to the public. Does that answer your question, Tiha?
What the if? What the heck?
What's the question?
Just no, just keep talking because I guess so.
Okay, so let me give you
Are
another bit
you
of
okay?
what's that?
You said you're sweating.
I'm what?
You are sweating. You have sweat?
Oh yeah. I'm sweating. I guess sometimes when I talk, I get a little hot because you know it's been a while since I spoke. But anyway, let me give you another information. Okay, the average person, for the most part, they go through elementary school, middle school, and they finish high school.
Magtanong kayo,
And
ayusin nyo.
hmm,
Pa-enjoyin nyo yung tao.
I don't know what that means. I only speak English. Okay, but let me give you something that might change the course of your life if you actually apply this information. Okay, so most people when we get done through high school, they go through maybe several years of college, get a bachelor's degree, and then it ends right there unless they go to a master's and then they get their doctor's or PhD, which very few people do, right? So, but I was told well over 15 years ago, probably closer to 20 years ago, by a man in the early 80s, in the 80s. He was a world renowned speaker. He was famous. I won't mention his name yet, okay? But he made a lot of millionaires, multi-millionaires in the
Aya
last
said,
20 to
bring it
30
on,
years.
Alex.
Okay. Okay. The man said something to me that changed my life. And that's why I became a lifelong learner. Okay. He said, formal education. That means when you go to a university, you go to a college of your choice, or you learn a profession, that's called formal education. Okay. Formal education will make you a decent, comfortable living if you apply yourself correctly. But he said, self education will make you a fortune. I'm going, what is self education? Is any education that you take to better yourself outside of college. Because real learning begins when you graduate from college. But how many people continue their learning after college? Most people after college, they read a few books, maybe romance novels or whatever it is, right? But then their learning pretty much stops unless it's part of their job, whether it's a nurse or a doctor or something else. They don't do anything to really better themselves and to bring their skills to the next level. That is the reason why when you become self educated, things that you do outside of college, right? That's when you develop the skills necessary when you go to schools and seminars and all these other things. That's what's going to make you better than what you wore a year ago, 6 months ago, 2 years ago. Because if you continue to apply those learning after college, you become a completely different person as time goes on. Does that make sense to you? And I've been doing self education for well over 20 years. But anyway, so next question, please. You said I had there?
Aya said she finished her college.
Good. Now your learning begins. Your learning doesn't end just because you finish your college. You're just beginning knowledge at that point. I remember you told me
Nickname
that you have a background in accounting, huh?
Professor Alex.
Okay. I remember you had mentioned to me, Aya, that you said you have an accounting background. In your field, the top accounting in any part of the country, whether it's in the Philippines or the United States or other
I
country,
finished my
is something
college
called
as well and still
CPA,
learning.
a certified public accountant. There's special rigorous schooling for that. And there's other money that you have to spend and books and tuition that you have to spend to pass your CPA.
Aya said, I am a degree holder. I am a degree
Yes,
holder too, Aya said.
that's good. That's good, Aya.
See
I'm
how
glad. I'm glad you're a
I
degree
finished my
holder.
college as well and still learning. That's T how said.
Good, good. So now, see if you can take that degree and turn it into something called a CPA, a certified public accountant. That's not gonna make you just a regular accountant. That's gonna make you a respected profession in your field. That is the top level in your
She
profession.
have a
A
license
certified
already
public
in
accountant.
Philippines.
With that,
She have a license in Philippines.
but are you a licensed CPA? Because a licensed CPA in the Philippines can run their own business and way more than money so that you cannot be hired by somebody because you will have your own business if you became an entrepreneur. That takes another set of skills to become a CPA and an entrepreneur so that nobody can afford to hire you other than you have your own clients. Okay. So go ahead. Anybody else? It's too bad there's only 6 people here because if there was more people here, they would see the value of what they're getting here for free. Okay, but go ahead.
Yeah. Just keep talking. You see
Okay,
the very cute dimple of Alex?
okay.
Very deep.
We won't worry about my dimples right now. I'm here to serve the public at the moment. I'm here to assist you in making sure that you have more people tuning into this content. And I hope people will review this live so that if I show up again down the road, they have more specific questions they can ask me, and then I can go ahead and address those questions and answer their concerns. Okay. So now we have 7 people on here. So anybody who just tuned in, like and subscribe to Dolly's channel so that down the road, if she has me back on here again, and if I agree to be interviewed, then I can help you with the questions that you have. So if you have questions, type them on there. Dolly will go ahead and read them to me, and then I will answer your questions. So welcome to the channel, guys. This is my very first debut to YouTube. This time as actually a person to help you with the areas of concern that you have. Okay. So go back to the very beginning of this interview and you will see my background. Okay. Because I have a very heavy background in holistic health and nutrition and reversing of diseases. Okay. I'm going to repeat I am not a medical doctor. I do not want to be a medical doctor because it does not fix diseases. They give you surgery and pills and medications and prescription. That's what doctors do. That's what they're
Hi,
trained to
Jeff.
do.
Jeff is here.
Okay. Welcome, Jeff. What's up? What can I do for you? So I noticed that there's a big difference between um, my approach in the way of language and the way that Jeff may approach language. Okay. I listened to Albert Einstein. He said one thing. It made a lot of sense to me. Okay. And that man is very, very smart. I'm sure you know who Albert Einstein is. He says a genius is a man that can take complicated subjects into a very, very simpler matter. So when you can simplify something that's complex, he calls that genius. Those are Albert Einstein's words. So I made a decision a long time ago.
I ask you. You listen?
Go ahead. What's the question?
She said, Alex, what is the biggest mistakes you've ever made and what did you teach you? What did it teach you?
Well, all I'm going to say is this. It was, I don't know if it was the biggest mistake, but it's definitely one of the bigger ones. Okay. I felt sorry for a YouTuber that I thought was a good person and that needed my help. So, but I won't mention the name because I'm not here to bash that person, but I'm only going to use initials because most of you won't figure out who this person is. But that person's initial is JTE. Okay, I regret meeting that person because of how it turned out to be. Okay, and that person, I spent thousands of dollars in a single month, plus the hundreds of dollars in the previous months before that, to help this person so that they could survive and to thrive in the area. But it turns out that this person is not what I thought they were. They they were very not appreciative of the things I'd done, and so I'll give you an example. This person had a close friend that's a lot older than them. Let's just say close to 10, 15 years older than them. And this person has given him gifts over the years. Okay. And through association, their friend disrespected that friend, and
Alex
they
said,
didn't do anything to
Alex
correct
said,
and to make that person apologize to that friend. What's
can
that?
you hear me? Ayas said, what is the hardest truth you've ever accepted?
The hardest truth. Well, I don't know how to answer that question. The hardest truth I've ever accepted. Oh, okay. One of the hardest truths I've ever accepted is that there has been a cure for cancer since 1928. 1928. There was a man from Germany who discovered a cure for cancer back then. And when I found out about that, and I was thinking about all the millions of people that has died of cancer year after year after year after year when they didn't have to die, I was so mad for a long time that there's actually a cure for cancer because figures like Walt Disney, he was a multi-millionaire in his day, had all the money you could possibly want, but yet he died of cancer unnecessarily because he trusted the wrong doctors. Now, that's not to say, I'm not saying that all doctors are bad. That's not what I'm saying. We have to have doctors. But when should you need doctors? Well,
Wait,
guess what?
Alex. Ayas said again, you listen?
Go ahead.
What's the question you are afraid someone might ask you?
What is the question? I'm really not afraid of that many questions at all because I'm an open book for the most part. And if it gets into an area where that is too private or something like that, then I won't answer the question. Now, I mean, I'll address it, but that's about it. But at the moment, I can't think of any questions that I'm afraid of answering um, because I've always been a straight up kind of person. Okay, you will hardly ever find anyone that's straight up and honest in the way I dress certain things. Ever since I was 19 years old, I live by this principle. Always, always tell the truth, even if it hurts you or it might hurt someone else's feelings. Always tell the truth, okay? Because the minute you start telling lies, now you have to remember your lie, and then it's going to hurt somebody else or you're going to hurt yourself because of the lie that you created. Lies will never ever pay, okay? But that's my scenario with that. Okay, but go ahead. Is there a specific question you want to ask me other than a general question like that? Okay, so back to what I was saying to you. Formal education will make you a good living, a comfortable living, whether it's you become a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse, an attorney, whatever, right? You'll make a good living doing those things. But self education, when you really learn to develop yourself after you get out of college, learning the necessary skills so you become a bigger person, that's the one that's going to make you a fortune. Okay. So that's the reason why I say self education will make you a fortune. Okay. I think Jeff once mentioned his name. There's a guy by the name of Tony Robbins. Okay. He's pretty much a billionaire by now. He's advised five presidents in the last 40 some odd years. He's been a well
Alex,
known
Ayas
figure.
said, you are listening?
Yes.
Ayas said, who broke your heart in a way you never fully recovered from?
Who broke my heart that I never forget? Well, heartbreak is never easy, but it's something that we all have to deal with at some point in our life, one way or the other. Okay. I've had two significant people in my life. Okay. And the I've spent many years with both of these different partners. But my ex-wife last broke my heart because I thought that would be it, and I gave my
Don't
all
cry,
to that
Alex.
person. Huh? What's that?
Just kidding. Don't
Okay.
cry.
No, no, no. There's no crying. That's no crying.
No, I'm just
I was
kidding.
just it just make me to be more protective as far as if I let somebody in close inside. And to be honest with you, I'm not really sure if I'm ever going to be married again. Okay, but now will I ever have a partner again? Of course, I'm open to that. I'm not so heartbroken so that you can't do that because part of growing up is you have to overcome those things, right? You have to learn how to heal, and healing takes time. And there is a lot of people in this world. We're talking millions of people in this world that are walking around with a busted heart in a different kind of way, and a busted mind in a different kind of way. Whether it's because they've been abused as a child, they've had hurts that have never been addressed, they have never gone to counseling to fix those things, that they have so much negativity in their lives, and they have no trust for other people, right? And and here's the thing. I remember Denzel Washington once said in a movie, but yet it makes a lot of sense because it's true. He says, remember this, he says, doubt kills. Anytime you doubt something or someone, when you have no proof that they have not done what they said they've done, you have to give them a benefit of that fact that they have done those things until they have proved to be a liar to you. But there's no reason why you should question someone else's credibility, right? But at the moment, now you have a little bit of doubt, but too much doubt will kill you. It will eat you up. It will never benefit you. Just remember that. Okay, go ahead.
What? I can't hear you.
Did you have another question for me?
No. Just continue talking.
Okay. So now, guys,
After maybe after 1 hour we were end the live
okay.
one.
So this came by. I didn't know today was the day.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Aya, pupunta daw si Ria ngayon. Magsalam daw kay Baba. No, I'm just talking to Aya.
Okay.
Okay,
You
continue.
know, when I knew I was going to speak in Dolly's channel sooner or later, but I didn't know it was going to be today. I didn't know what I was going to be talking about exactly. This is just impromptu talking to you just because it just came out of nowhere. So I'm just talking to you whatever comes up in my head. Now, if you have a specific question, I'm going to answer those questions. But go ahead. D, you have any question?
See how I'm 40 years old. Single. Tia
Yeah.
asking me how long I've been single.
How long
I'm
have
40 years
you or
old
me?
single. I'm just kidding. No, no, me.
Or even, as
Tia
far as I know,
said,
you've been single all
Dalia,
your
how
life.
long have you been single? I told him 40 years.
You're not that old. Okay.
Just kidding.
So let's let's not focus on marital issues or stuff like that because that's not going to really help you. Let's do something related to you, how I can specifically help you. So let's help you.
We're focusing here on health because I want to be healthy.
Okay. So that's that's
Being in a
that's a wide
relationship is
range of things.
not healthy.
Say that again.
I said I'm focusing to the health, not to the relationship because it's not healthy.
Okay. Okay.
Being in a
So
relationship is not healthy.
you know, as far as health, you know, in the medical profession, it's a known understanding that most doctors, 99% of the doctors say, like, there is no cure for something called lupus. Lupus. It's a debilitating disease that can stop you on your tracks and all of a sudden you can't even function. Okay? It inflames your joints, your bones, your hands, everything, your face, everything swollen, swells up. Okay? And doctors say there's no cure for this thing. And then they want you to take these expensive
Tia is single
procedures and
for
stuff.
6 years. How-
Okay, I am. Yeah,
I told kanina
maybe
bata.
you would. Maybe you need to go to a dating channel if you want to talk about your singleness. This is not a dating channel. Anyway, so but I'm here to tell you to a recent study that I've done from a medical doctor who had lupus for 16 plus years. Okay, she went through chemotherapy, she went through radiation, she went through all kinds of things just to be able to survive her lupus because she had super advanced lupus.
ISM,
And yet,
why you're so
go ahead.
handsome, Alex?
It came from my mama and my papa. That's my answer. But thank you. So anyway, what I'm saying to you is this. Okay, I learned from a medical doctor that lupus is fixable because she fixed it herself, and all her doctor friends told her there's no cure for lupus. But yet, through a specific kind of knowledge, for some of the same professors that she studied, that I studied, she discovered that you can reverse and cure lupus. That's just one. Just one. Okay. I'm sure there are thousands of people in the United States that if they knew that this existed right here, this
Not
channel
Ivy will
existed
type
right
this
here.
comment. She's crazy.
What's that?
Ivy.
Okay, let's say. Does she have a question?
She said she can find where the handsome is.
Well, that's good. That's good. Okay, I think that person's name begins with a J. Anyway, let's. Well, we're not gonna we're getting sidetracked here, but isn't that interesting that most doctors in the world feel that lupus is not a reversible condition that you have to live with it for the rest of your life? But guess what? I'm here to tell you from recent knowledge. I studied 5 different books in there about the autoimmune system, and that if you strengthen that and you take the right lifestyle change necessary, whether it's a year or 2 years or 3 years, you can kick the pants out of lupus. Okay, and that's a fact. But most doctors do not know that. But anyway, so that's just some information that for those of you that might have lupus out there or know someone that has lupus, they don't have to suffer through that. There are things that you could do so that you could manage that and then eventually get rid of it. But you know what? It's going to take discipline and it's going to take a major lifestyle change. Okay. So you have to be committed to that change.
Alex, here. Do you want to visit Baba? Dating channel.
Okay.
Ka
What happened?
channel. What's that,
So are we
Ivy?
done or
Yes, this
what
is
are we saying?
dating channel. This is dating channel.
Okay.
No, this is healthcare. You too nuts.
Okay. So this isn't just about health, although health affects everybody. Okay. Um, let's see what else. I mean, like I told you, I am certified. I believe D. I've shown you my certification as a life and a health coach, so you know that's true. I have the designated background for that. Okay, so that's just some of the things I showed her. But she also, I believe, I've shown you because you're the only one I had to just to show, so you know that where to get you're getting the information from. I showed you my certification in plant based nutrition through Cornell University, where I was taught by 25 different doctors how to go about addressing these major diseases that most people have to struggle with. Okay,
Hi,
so
viewers. Welcome to
okay,
my channel and listen to
okay,
Alex,
good, yeah.
the
Please
DJ.
stick around in this channel long enough because down the road, if I agree to speak again, it's only going to be in this channel. So like and subscribe in her channel. When she's done with her watch hours, right now she can't spend whole lot of time with you, except for today. She made a point to spend time with you today because she knew she was going to interview me. I guess is that let her finish her watch hours, and then she's going to focus on content where she can sit there and talk to you and address whatever concerns that you have. Okay, so this is the only place I'm going to appear. If I appear anywhere else, because believe me, whatever membership price she's going to put out there, you want to subscribe to that because imagine for that little bitty amount that she's going to ask you, which is probably more than the average YouTube channel because of the value you're getting, right? It is life saving information that you're not going to get from your average YouTuber. So that's that. Oh, hi. I can't see who that is. I think that's Aya. Hi. Hi. Okay. So that's the information that I have for you so far. So if you have questions, this is the time to ask me. So if you have things like diabetes, if you have things like
Did you see Ria?
cancer, huh? Go ahead.
Did you see Ria?
Was that Aya?
I said, did you see Ria come?
Oh, that was Rhea. Okay, I saw somebody there, but it was she was so far away I couldn't really see that good.
They just
But okay,
joined and then they will go now.
okay. Are there any other questions that you have?
No, they don't.
Does the audience have any more
They just,
questions or no?
they're just laughing. They're
They're just
crazy.
laughing.
They're
Okay,
A.
okay. Well, some of the claims that I'm telling you right now is going to be hard to believe because you haven't studied those things like I have. Like saying things like cancer is reversible. Most people go, "There's no way, kid. There's no fix for cancer." Well, guess what? You're right. In your brain and your exposure, there is no fix for cancer. But in my brain and in my education and the things I've seen, there is a cure for cancer because I'm completely different from you. The average person's not walking around with 4,000 books in their phones, right?
Maybe the police
They're
will
just
come
not.
to catch us, Alex.
What's that?
The police will come to catch us.
Anyway, but so the chances are there's probably not any doctors listening to this because the average doctor, when they go to medical school, they get trained that there is no cure for cancer. And they believe that for the rest of their lives until they take outside education, outside of medical school. Okay. So the things that I read is things like um, University of Pennsylvania. That's an Ivy League college. I read books from there. I read books from Stanford, Stanford University, Georgetown. These are major colleges. Okay, they're a leading college. Hopkins University. Okay, most of you have heard of Hopkins University. Okay, things like um, Princeton. I take books from there and I study that stuff. Yale, Harvard. These are top institutions in the world, not just in the United States, in the world. That is the difference because that's made me different than the average person. But go ahead.
Alex, Tihao asked, Alex, have you ever ride a horse?
Yes, I
Okay.
have. I can tell you a quick story. My ex, when we were dating, I took her in a horseback riding out in the country somewhere. I can't remember what town I took her in,
You have
and she
story
was so
about that, Tihao. Just listen.
okay. And so I took her horseback riding. It was her first time doing horseback riding, and I've done it before. And then somehow she jammed her thumb or her finger in the horse saddle somewhere, and she broke the nail off her finger. I'm like, ooh, this is supposed to be a fun experience, not a bad experience by jamming it into a horse saddle. But anyway, yeah, I've ridden a horse. Yeah. Speaking of horses, I was just recently, when I relax because I'm retired, when I relax sometimes and I'm trying to go to sleep, there's a show called The Ultimate Cowboy. Okay, there was like 4 seasons of it, and it was pretty awesome to watch because to go back to the days of cowboys and to see what a real man was back in the day, 200 years ago, whatever it is, those were the guys, the cowboys, right? But anyway, so they rode horses,
Me,
you know.
I only ride the Carabao.
The carabao is famous in the Philippines, Thailand. They're called water buffaloes, and I remember that when I was a kid in the Philippines. I was chased by one, and I was scared out of my mind. I was a little boy. This big black water buffalo in the rice field, and it was just something else. But anyway, but go ahead. What other questions do we have?
I said we don't have horse there, only goat.
Okay. Hey, speaking of goat, if for those of you that want something healthy, don't drink milk, drink goat milk. Goat milk is the closest you can drink that has nutrition as a human milk. That's the closest you can get. And we are the only species, right? Humans are the only species that drink milk when we become adults. Every other species out there do not drink milk when they get past their infancy. But for some reason, humans decide to continue to drink milk, whether it's cow's milk or some other milk, but we're still drinking milk and we're all grown up and we don't need to. But if you must drink milk, drink goat's milk. That has some nutrition in it. So go ahead.
Just continue.
Any questions? We're 56 minutes in, so we're probably going to wrap this up in 4 minutes. So this is the time for you to ask until I come back again.
Just continue talking.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, only 3 minutes left, guys. We will end the live.
Okay. And so take the time now to write down your questions so that when I come back on this channel again, when we're done with
Guys,
watch hours,
ask Alex something now because we have only 3 minutes left. We will end the live. Go this for right now.
okay. But if for some reason you don't have a question you want to ask me, take the time to ask me these questions. Write it down so you don't forget it, and then come back here when I'm live again. I'll answer that question at that moment in time. But I'm telling you, when a guy has the kind of knowledge that I don't know everything. That's why I read. That's how I have 4,000 books. And just recently, I just bought 5 new books, right? Because I want to continue to learn because I have a thirst for knowledge because I don't know everything. But whatever I don't know, if somebody asks me a question, I will research that. If I have to buy another book, whatever it is, I will find the answer one way or the other. Okay, because I'm just an avid reader. Okay, I believe in lifelong education. That's it. Even if I'm 75 years old or 80 years old, I'm still gonna be learning books. And it's a lifelong thing. So go ahead. And any questions? One last question or something or what? Okay, I just happened to think of something. Okay, this is from a man that I read an autobiography. And this is what he said when he lived to be 80 some odd years old, maybe 90 years old. He says, the heaviest thing in life to carry is something called regret. Regret weighs tons. It is from not doing the things that woulda could have gone for. If we have went for it, or if we challenged ourselves and went for it, even if we failed, at least we went for the fight. At least we attempted to go for it. But by shrinking back and not going for your dreams and then looking back in your deathbed down the road and you go, what I shoulda, coulda, woulda, it doesn't count, right? So whatever, if you still got breath, go after your dreams so that you have no regrets. There's still something you would have gotten out of it, even if you don't fully succeed in the way that you think of. But what if you went for it and succeeded? Imagine that. So don't get old in your deathbed and think, I regret that I didn't go for this. Okay, so that's a wisdom that I learned from an old man. Okay, so that's what I have to say about that. So we're approaching almost an hour now, and I guess we're pretty much wrapping it up here. Anything else, D? D?
Mm-hmm.
Are we done? We're 1 hour here.
IB said end the live now because we have
Who-
work.
Okay, all right. I've been talking for an hour, so that's not bad for an impromptu talk. Okay, thanks for attending the live, and maybe next time we have a
Thank you
bigger
for
audience
watching,
here.
guys. Thank you for
And
joining.
none of you
Bye
really asked me any
bye.
real questions today. If you had asked me real questions today, I would have given you real answers. So ask your questions next time. Shoot your shot. Okay.
Next time you need
Wayne
to write
Gretzky.
down your question, okay? So you don't forget.
Right. Wayne Gretzky, one of the best skaters in hockey, he said, "You missed the shot 100% of the ones you didn't take." Remember that. You're going to miss the shot of the ones that you didn't take.
Can you put your
So
mouthpiece?
take
I
your
can't
shot.
hear you.
Take your shot is what I'm saying. Okay. So, all right, guys. Good talking to you.
Bye,
And
guys.
we're
Thank you
done
so
now.
much.
Thank you for coming and like and subscribe to the channel.
Bye
Okay.
bye.
Bye bye.